Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So the focus of my channel has always been about debanking and using cryptocurrency for its utility. Now, one of the big problems with centralized exchanges is that when you sign up and provide your KYC to have access to the exchange, you've actually deconstructed the element of anonymity from your usage of the cryptocurrency, because there may come a time where the exchange has to maybe provide all of your KYC details to the government, or maybe hackers maybe illegally gain access to it. So if people know that you've purchased cryptocurrency and they know which wallet it went into and then who you sent it to, and etc., then you've essentially lost the utility of cryptocurrencies. So a lot of my channel has been about providing you with ways to use cryptocurrency in an anonymous manner, to buy it using fiat anonymously and to be able to sell it anonymously, and also how to buy and sell things with it. This has been a big part of my channel. So in my research and in just my own personal quest to debank, I've become very enamored with Monero and all the utilities that it provides. And the thing that I've been focused on for a long time is, how do I buy and sell Monero without KYC? Now, there used to be a website called Local Moneros. It wasn't long ago that it shut down, only 2 months ago, in fact. And since then, there's kind of been a vacuum to find an adequate alternative, but there hasn't really been much. The only two that I could find is one called BitPapa, another called BitValve. And if you're interested in using these P2P cryptocurrency exchanges to buy Monero, you can use my referral link in the description down below. That being said, they aren't perfect solutions because there's liquidity issues, and these are also centralized custodial. Well, yeah, they're more or less centralized, and they're custodial exchanges. So they aren't quite. They're not as much as they could be. So I go to a website called KYC Not from time to time, and KYC Not is a website that you can use to find websites that will allow you to trade cryptocurrency without the use of KYC, particularly Monero. So if you go to this website, KYC Not, you can see a list of different exchanges here. And if next to the word exchange, if it's got this M there, that stands for Monero, it means on this exchange you can trade Monero, right? And it's given a rank of 0 to 10 to determine how decentralized it is, and it's ranked on things like, does it need KYC, is it non-custodial, and a number of other factors, right? So there's a few here that are P2P cryptocurrency exchanges, which is kind of my bread and butter. Bisq is one of them. It's one I really don't like because it's got low liquidity and it's just a pain in the butt to use. And if I scroll, and then there's RoboSats, which is a similar situation. I'm not a big fan of RoboSats. Then we get down to the HODL, which is the only one on this entire list that I'd actually use. So on this list, what is the alternative? If most of these options aren't P2P cryptocurrency exchanges, then what exactly is the mechanism for most of these exchanges for exchanging things like Monero? Well, if we click on Unstoppable Swap, you'll find out that a lot of these exchanges are what you'd call atomic swaps. So in this video, I'm going to explain what atomic swaps are, because if you're in the Monero community, you may have thought about buying Monero with atomic swaps, but I'm actually going to make this as a little bit of a review video as to why I think atomic swaps aren't a good idea, and you're going to want to perhaps just settle with one of the more with some of the lesser alternatives out there, like the ones I mentioned, or even just going to centralized exchange. And you might think that sounds like a little bit of blasphemy, but as you'll see in this video, it's actually quite concerning if you try get into atomic swap. So let's get into the video. But first, if you're interested in these kinds of videos about debanking, using Bitcoin for its primary purpose, which is using it as a utility, if you're interested in making money in cryptocurrency, make sure to sign up with my channel. Make videos daily about these kinds of topics. So let's get into it. So what is an atomic swap? Well, an atomic swap is a very interesting concept. It was actually invented by Charlie Lee, which is the founder of Litecoin, in 2017. And before DEXs were pioneered by the Ethereum blockchain and made their way into prominence in 2021, the idea of using smart contracts to create third-party trade, or essentially a third-party trading situation, that was decentralized, basically a proto DEX. This was something that actually was invented already in 2017, but instead of being on the Ethereum blockchain or one of these other layer 1 protocols, layer 2 protocols, should I say, you had a mechanism that was made by again Charlie Lee, and it works like this, right? So I'll read the example first, and then I'll deconstruct it after that. So let's just say Lara deposits her cryptocurrency into an HTCL address. What HTCL is it's a hash time lock contract. So what that basically means is, okay, actually, let me just read it, I'll make more sense. Which acts like a virtual safe and can only be unlocked with a special key that she can access. So once she deposits her cryptocurrency into this address, she'll get a special key, which would be like a code, right? Lara shares a cryptographic hash of this special key with Mark, who deposits his cryptocurrency into an address created using the same cryptographic hash, right? Once Mark has deposited the cryptocurrency, Lara can use the currency by unlocking the transaction with the special key obtained from her initial deposit. After Lara has used the key to unlock the transaction, Mark can get access to his share of the exchange. Once both parties have access to their respective funds, the atomic swap is completed. So this is a way of doing a decentralized exchange. It's non-custodial, doesn't require any KYC, and there's no third party involved. It's very efficient, and often with these exchanges, because there's no third party, it's considered very trusted. And yeah, so now we can get to the meat and potatoes. Let's look at some examples of the different atomic swap platforms there are. So there's one called Unstoppable Swap. There's another called Basic Swap Beta. I'm just going to focus on these two for now, right? So how it works is that it's not like a normal exchange. If you've used BISC before, it's going to seem a little bit more familiar, where you have to download a program and it accesses this network via the Tor network. And yeah, so you have to download the whole blockchain. It's a very cumbersome process. But once you've got it, you're then free to trade. So how it works is you can, like a P2P crypto exchange, you can make an offer. If you're a seller, you can make an offer to sell Monero, or if you're buying Monero, you can make an offer to sell your Bitcoin for Monero, and then you just wait for the order to get filled. So it's basically that. It's basically just like a normal P2P cryptocurrency exchange. Except I want to go into some of the caveats for this, right? So as I mentioned, so the pros are, it's totally non-custodial. There's no third party. And ergo, there's also no fees, because there's absolutely no third party at all. It's basically run by the community. Fourth, it's totally decentralized. Or did I already say that? I think I already said that. Anyway, so what are the cons of this? Because maybe some of you have researched about this before and you want to know why you shouldn't use it. So one of the really big things, as someone that sells a lot in the P2P markets and am heavily involved, I always get people regularly hitting me up on Telegram, saying they want to trade tens of, maybe dozens of Bitcoin, and then they ask me, do you accept dirty money? And in the P2P trading markets, this is unfortunately like a really big thing. There's a lot of people who are heavily involved in the P2P markets, and the whole business is simply laundering people's dirty money. So every time there's a hack, every time there's money that's made in some kind of illicit way, whether it's someone's made a lot of money on the dark web with who knows what kind of activity, if there's some kind of situation where someone's engaging in some kind of corruption in some third world country and they want to pull out a bunch of funds into crypto to get it out of the country, all this dark money usually ends up in the P2P markets, and you would have to deal directly with someone dealing with them to trade with them. You basically have to get someone to accept dirty money. Now, frequently these people will outright tell you that the money is dirty, and the reason why they tell you it's dirty is because if they want to deal with you long term, they need to actually let you know that it's dirty, because they're going to send the money in parts, right? And the problem with accepting dirty money is that, let's just say you receive like one Bitcoin, that Bitcoin was stolen, right? And you send them Monero you receive one Bitcoin worth of, it's all dirty, right? You set it to Binance, or maybe to Qcoin or Kraken, whatever, to turn it back into Monero or whatever you want. Once it goes on that exchange, there's a chance, it's not certain, but there's a chance that those funds are flagged, and those funds will then be locked on your account, and you're not going to be able to access it. And if it's depending on how serious of a situation it is, you may even your details, your information may even be given to the police, and you're going to be involved in some kind of police investigation where they're going to ask, who is this person you traded with? In fact, they even may go as far as to accuse you of being the one that's involved in criminal activities. Whatever that person did to gain those dirty Bitcoins, the sin is now going to be passed on to you, so to speak, and you could be on the hook for whatever crimes that person committed. So it's a very, very dangerous game to be involved with people that are trying to offload dirty Bitcoins. The sad reality is, dirty Bitcoins could very well be worth like 1/10 the value of what it actually is worth. Maybe even no value at all, because you can't ever really send it to an exchange because of the chance the funds will get locked and you'll be accused of a crime that you never even committed, right? So where we get to atomic swaps is that this is the primary way in which people launder their dirty money. You can't do it through a normal exchange. As I mentioned, you steal a bunch of money, you can't just send it to Binance, right? Because your funds will be locked. If you go to a normal peer-to-peer trading exchange, like the ones I recommend, local CoinSwap or HODL, referral link in the description down below, then you're going to have to deal with someone that is, you're going to have to tell them straight up that it's dirty. Otherwise, they're not going to deal with you long term, because ultimately they're going to, like sooner or later they're going to find out, and they're always sending it in parts, right? They're not just going to send you $1 million worth of Bitcoin. They send you 10,000 here, 10,000 there, and once that person, the seller on the P2P exchange, sends those funds to Binance, the funds are locked, and the person won't want to deal with the other person anymore. So you're not going to find as much dirty funds flowing through these more standard P2P exchanges. But on a place like an atomic swap, it's a very invisible process. There's no connectivity between the buyer and the seller. So in a way, the way you can think about it is that, like, so you've got people that are selling Monero, and they're accepting Bitcoin for it. The people that are on that are buying Monero for Bitcoin very frequently are trying to trade their dirty money for Bitcoin, because Monero is a safe haven. Once it's in Monero, their funds are now safe. They can then send it to any other exchange, or maybe they can take that Monero to a more traditional P2P exchange and then trade it for some other cryptocurrency, or perhaps fiat, and then the money is cleaned once it gets to Monero. But frequently the Bitcoin that gets to this atomic swap platform is very dirty for the most part, right? This is the primary way that people clean their funds. And so whoever is selling the Monero, because maybe they're tempted in by, because the thing is, if you're selling Monero in a place like this, you can charge like 10, maybe 20%. Some people probably even charge more, maybe 30% of a markup above the market rate in exchange for the Bitcoin. But once they've got that Bitcoin, there's a chance they might not be able to get rid of it. Now, there may be some people that specialize in money laundering, but if you're just the average person, you watching this video now, and you're wondering whether or not you should buy or sell cryptocurrency on an atomic swap, my recommendation would be no. First, if you're selling Monero, then the funds you're going to see of Bitcoin is very likely to be dirty, and there's a chance you could lose those funds and potentially be implicated in a crime that you didn't commit. And let's just say it was the other way around. Maybe you decide that you've got Bitcoin and you want to trade it for Monero. Well, the shoe goes in the other foot in a slightly different way. Well, if you sell your Bitcoin for Monero, that person, maybe, if there's a possibility that this person is using those Bitcoins in an illicit matter, maybe he used it to buy, he decided to buy, 100 kilos worth of cocaine or something, right? He wanted to buy some dark thing off the dark web in bulk, right? And if that person is ever implicated in his crime, the police are going to know how he funded this transaction. How did he buy all this cocaine? They're going to go through his hard drive, and they're going to find out, oh, so he bought all this cocaine with Bitcoin. Where did he get that Bitcoin? Oh, he got it from this other wallet. maybe they find a way, and it's not guaranteed. I mean, I think Bitcoin is fairly safe and secure and it's anonymous, but they're at least going to try and find out who owns that wallet, and it's possible that they might be able to find it. I mean, there's various ways you can track things. I'm not saying it's easy, but if they're really motivated to do it, they might be able to find a way and find a way to find out who owns that Bitcoin wallet. Because maybe that Bitcoin wallet was tied to some other thing. Maybe that, I don't know, maybe they can do it, right? But the point is that regardless of whether you're buying or selling Monero or Bitcoin on an atomic swap like this, the chances you're going to be dealing with shady people is extremely high, and that's why I can't recommend it. I'd much more recommend people do it the old-fashioned way. I don't like centralized exchanges. I don't think it's a good thing, but there aren't, unfortunately, as many alternatives that are very good right now, particularly since local Monero shut down. So you've got some centralized exchanges like Qcoin, Kraken. What was it? There's like one other that usually has these like the top three exchanges for volume, and I don't think they're the best, but usually at least if you're going to buy your Monero, it's going to be clean. Like any of the crypto that goes through an exchange, if it's not flagged already, if you bought it on the spot exchange, you can guarantee the funds are clean, and you're also going to get a good rate as well. If you go into a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange, even the ones that I recommend, the chances are the rates are going to be much higher than the market rate. At the same time, though, if you are willing to pay above the market rate, you still can use other regular P2P cryptocurrency exchanges, not atomic swap ones. Ones like BitPapa and BitValve. BitValve I recommend a little more. If you want to buy crypto Monero on either of these exchanges, it doesn't require any KYC. It is custodial though, so if that is a problem for you, you might just be out of luck, because I don't really find that there's a good alternative to that. Maybe things will change in the future. I think since there's local Monero, the primary Monero P2P marketplace shut down, I think there's been a bit of a gold rush to become the next local Monero. But until then, it might be a while until we find a good alternative. But until then, I would recommend shying away from atomic swaps, because I wouldn't want to see you get in trouble, getting implicated in crimes and getting involved with the wrong kinds of people. So thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. If you are interested again in buying Monero using regular P2P cryptocurrency exchanges, make sure to use my referral link in the description down below for BitPapa and BitValve. These are pretty good exchanges. They aren't as good as local Monero, but I think they're still pretty decent if you're serious about this. And if you don't mind a little bit of centralization to ensure security, ensuring that you're getting clean funds when you buy Monero, you can use my referral link in the description below for Qcoin. It tends to have the best volume when it comes to trading Monero, that is. You don't want to get wrecked on the spread. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.